And welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the month of May 2025. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this month's edition of ACAP Today, we're going to talk with local school officials, specifically those in Southern Aroostook and SAD 70 in the Hodgdon School District, as well as ACAP officials who are partnering countywide on a new initiative to help individuals who might, and students in particular, who might be experiencing homelessness or housing insecurity. It's an innovative new pilot project, and we're going to learn all about it in our feature interview in just a little bit. But before we do that, we're first going to go to the news and information that you can use again for the month of May 2025. And May is, as we have shared with you in past editions of ACAP Today, Community Action Month across the country and certainly right here in Aroostook County. Community Action Month really recognizes the robust state and local force that helps empower hardworking families to achieve economic and social mobility. There are nearly 1,000 agencies across the country and 10 right here in Maine, including Aroostook County Action Program, that really help to create economic opportunities, strengthen local communities, and help families find pathways to prosperity. And we're going to talk in just a minute about how we're doing that here in Aroostook County in partnership with local school districts. But first, some other things that we'll be doing in the month of May. We will be launching ACAP's new mobile service unit, which is intended to bring services that our agency provides to smaller, more rural communities across Aroostook County where we don't have an office set. And so we're going to begin that in the town of Van Buren with the official launch on Friday, May 9th between 10 and 2 p.m. right there in the heart of the downtown in Van Buren in front of their former town office location, which has been reconfigured to a Connect space. We invite one and all to join us for the mobile service unit ribbon cutting and launch and tours of the new mobile service unit in Van Buren on that day. If you're not able to make it that day but want to connect with us through the mobile services unit, the unit will then continue throughout the month of May into Grand Isle on the 13th, Frenchville on the 15th, St. John Plantation on the 19th. On the 21st of May, they'll be in Allagash, and on the 27th in Eagle Lake. And then we continue in June. We'll go down the Route 11 corridor and make our way into Southern Aroostook in the month of June. So we'll be announcing those dates a little later on. But our mobile service unit does officially hit the road on May 9th, starting with a public launch in Van Buren. And we thank the Office of United States Senator Susan Collins, who provided the congressionally directed spending to support this mobile service unit, which we intend to be able to bring our services to local communities to help support our folks across Aroostook County. We also wanted to share with you that ACAP's Community Aging in Place program provides no-cost home safety checks, minor maintenance repairs, and accessibility modifications for low-income or individuals in Aroostook County age 55 and above, as well as disabled county residents. So low-income seniors, 55 and over, and disabled county residents. Examples of some of that work include accessibility modifications such as grab bars and handrails, things to make you more safe in your home, shower seats, lever door handles, as well as kitchen and bathroom faucet fixture changes out. And then minor repairs, including some minor winterizing, gutter work, steps to make sure that you're able to get in and out of your home safely. And minor plumbing and electrical work, again, all related to home safety. And then a number of things that we do, including dryer vents, furnace filters, light bulbs, just to make sure that your home is in safe order. If you're interested or know a senior or individual with disabilities in Aroostook County who could benefit from these services, give us a call here at ACAP at 764-3721 or send us an email at info@acap-me.org. We also want to share with you that through a program in partnership with the Maine Cancer Foundation, ACAP is supporting Aroostook County cancer patients who are looking at and seeking treatment at this time who need assistance in a variety of ways, specifically with transportation expenses. We understand that folks often need to travel to a hospital either in the county from their community or outside of the county. We can provide up to $300 in direct customer benefits to Aroostook County residents who are undergoing cancer treatments. If you are in this situation or know somebody who is, again, contact us at 764-3721 or help@acap-me.org. On the other side of the spectrum, for children in our communities, we have just begun a school-age childcare program at ACAP's Gouldville Early Care and Education Center. It began during the April school vacation week officially. It does offer programs and services Monday through Friday. Now, when school is in session, those services are happening between 2:30 and 5:30 p.m. to support working parents who have to round out the day of care for their children under 12 years of age. During school breaks, we operate a full day from 7 a.m. to 5:30, similar to the program that we offer in partnership with RSU 39 in the Caribou schools. Again, we serve children from 5 to 12 years of age in the school age childcare program. We're currently on a waiting list for this program as we have filled the first classroom of students, but we are looking at the potential of opening another school age classroom in the fall and would encourage you to contact our enrollment specialist, Marcy Driscoll, at the number there on your screen, or you can email us at info@acap-me.org to get more information and a registration form for your child. We are also supporting individuals who are interested in becoming home buyers for the first time with our home buyer education class. We have a number of classes scheduled throughout 2025. In this month in May, we're hosting an in-person class at our 771 Main Street Customer Service Center near Walmart in Presque Isle in our conference center there. You are able to register for that course right up until the date of the class. You can call us at 764-3721 or email us at homebuyeredu@acap-me.org. There is a registration cost for the class, but there is up to $5,000 that is available to you to go toward your closing cost if you successfully complete the course. It's a one-day course from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we do have virtual options happening in June and July, and we'll be announcing further classes for the fall when we get closer to that time. But please do give us a call if you're looking to become a home buyer, a first-time home buyer in particular. This course is definitely a benefit to you. We are also working with individuals right now, as we do throughout the organization and throughout Aroostook County, individuals who are looking for assistance in terms of increasing their job readiness, or in this particular case, if they've been dislocated from a job. If you have lost your job for whatever reason, our career guidance and financial supports here at ACAP provide coaching services to get you guidance, connections, and support in areas like resume building and interview skills, career counseling, job assistance. And in so doing, we're also able to provide financial supports for additional education and training, as well as supplies if you're attending school, transportation assistance, childcare assistance, and other services. So if you're finding yourself either underemployed or unemployed at this time, give us a call here at ACAP at 764-3721. For this particular service, it's extension 213 or help@acap-me.org. Get in touch with us at any of our customer service offices in Holton, Presque Isle, Madawaska, and Fort Kent. Our Triple P Positive Parenting Seminars are going to continue through the month of May, and we'll be announcing those dates shortly. But this is a specific class designed to give parents the skills they need to raise confident, healthy children and teenagers and to build stronger family relationships. Triple P is a pilot program that Aroostook County Action Program was fortunate enough to work with the state of Maine to be able to incorporate here in the county. And it doesn't tell people how to parent, rather it gives them simple and practical strategies they can use to suit their own values, beliefs, and needs. So we are encouraging any families who would like to join us for the positive parenting seminars. We offer them in person in Presque Isle with remote options for people to participate countywide. Megan Willett leads that program, and her contact information is there on your screen, or you can call our main number at 764-3721 and get connected with Megan about the positive parenting seminars. We are also partnering with our partner agency, Aroostook Regional Transportation System, to encourage folks specifically in the central Aroostook area who need transportation to and from work. The ARTS program is offering the Aroostook Workforce Connector in partnership with ACAP, Aroostook Partnership, and MDC, as well as some large employers, McCain and Huber and Tempo Employment Services. If you are in need of getting to and from work in the central Aroostook area, this operates at no cost to you Monday through Friday and between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. You can call ARTS directly at 764-5246 to get connected with this pilot program. Our prevention team here at ACAP is also offering ways to support individuals who are looking to quit tobacco, whether that's smoking, vaping, or other tobacco use. We encourage you to give us a call or call the main quit link directly at 1-800-QUIT-NOW for that information. We also want to remind folks out there in the community that we'd love to have you join our ACAP team. We're specifically looking right now for teacher aides, and educational technicians, 2 and 3 for specifically the summer and getting into the fall months. We have openings in our Caribou, Holton, Limestone, Presque Isle, and Fort Kent locations. We do offer competitive pay. We have 100% employer paid premium on our basic insurance, health insurance plan, as well as a number of other agency benefits. Do consider connecting with us through our Facebook or social media and websites. And lastly, if you or your family is in need of any assistance at this time, and we haven't talked about a specific program that's meeting and fitting your needs, please feel free to give us a call here at Aroostook County Action Program, whether it's for employment, housing, applying for benefits, food and wellness, connecting to resources, early care and education, or a variety of other things. Our navigators either have access to the resources within our agency or can connect you with a partner agency in the community that can provide the supports that you need and help get you the information that you're looking for. So do give us a call here at ACAP if you are in need of anything and we haven't mentioned it in this program that you could otherwise speak directly with someone on. And that's the news and information that you can use again for the month of May 2025. I'm so pleased now to welcome our guests to talk about a topic that is really important here in Aroostook County, and that's to prevent student homelessness, and a really exciting new pilot project that was the brainchild of folks at SAD 70 in Hodgdon, who reached out in partnership to Aroostook County Action Program and then extended that program and service to schools across Aroostook County. So from SAD 70, I should say, I'm pleased to welcome Katrina Kemp, who's the business manager in the school district and who's the one who sort of initiated the opportunity for the grant. Katrina, great to welcome you to the program.
Thank you, Jason. Pleasure.
And her colleague, Bernadette Willett, who is the McKinney-Vento coordinator in SAD 70, specifically for the high school. She's also joining us and is going to talk alongside our own Shirley Karen about how the program is rolling out here in Aroostook County, how people can connect to it and what it does. And then, of course, ACAP's Chief Program Officer, Heidi Ratcliffe, who partnered with Katrina to help bring this pilot grant program through Maine Housing to Aroostook County. So let's start with that. And I know, Katrina, you were sort of the first person who had this on your radar screen. So tell us about this new grant opportunity, this new pilot program in Aroostook County, how it caught your attention and how you took it from there.
Yeah. So what initially happened is that the Maine Housing sent out just a general email to the different school districts in the state, and that I was aware that our student homeless population has almost doubled in the past year, which is a huge burden on our district financially. So this was a huge opportunity for us. And in the grant, I was like, oh, we've got to go for this. It had an opportunity to partner with a housing navigator in the community. ACAP is already a huge navigation, has a lot of opportunities. So I reached out to Heidi and said, hey, we have this opportunity. Would you like to partner with us? This is a really great opportunity. And she was like, yeah. And we reached out to a lot of the other community schools and said, we can go for this grant. Let's get some money. There's great opportunity here. And we were one of 5 or 6 schools in the state that were awarded this grant.
Now, Heidi, when you got that call from Katrina, I know that ACAP really does love to partner with our community friends out there. And certainly we have a long history of partnering with our public schools and our early care and education and prevention work. What were your thoughts when Katrina first reached out to you about this opportunity to partner?
Yeah, absolutely. I think partnership is vital in our community, and we work a lot better when we're able to work with the people that do this job and can do it well. It was an honor for Katrina to say, hey, I think I have this idea, and do you think you'd want to partner? And I was all in. I don't even think the phone conversation was done, and I kept thinking off the chart with how we could make this work, knowing we had the housing navigation contract that was going to come to an end, and there was going to be a hole in the community for this need. need. So it was kind of the perfect opportunity and the perfect timing. It was wonderful to partner with her and to be able to establish an application. The wonderful part about it, or what got me so excited, is that she was open to not serving just her school district, but really open to ensuring that all of the school districts in Aroostook County were covered, which I think speaks to Aroostook County in itself.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about that and how folks are networking and partnering to make this happen. But Bernadette, I was really tuning in when Katrina was talking there about the near doubling of individuals or students that you're facing through the McKinney-Vento program, which you coordinate at the high school level, experiencing or are vulnerable for homelessness. Talk about what you've seen in terms of that challenge and how that's sort of escalated in recent years, in Hodgdon in particular.
Well, I think that it's escalating everywhere. It's just that we finally figured out that using the McKinney-Vento spreadsheet at the beginning of the year gives us an indication of who thinks and believes that they are either homeless or in substandard housing. And from that, we really get more information from teachers, from secretaries, from people who are working with the kids, and they come back and they say, did you know that this child does not have enough food? And reaching out to the parents, they are so prideful, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. And for them to admit that, for some people, is very difficult. So that's how we have gotten bigger numbers, if you will, if we're all about that. But the kids who are suffering are a lot, and they're just more and more coming through the ranks, given the environment and given everything else that's going on with all of us. And for some, it hits hard.
And Bernadette, certainly as an educator, you can attest to the fact that if a student is struggling with something like hunger or even the insecurity of having a roof over their head, the opportunity for them to actually do their best in the classroom and in the extracurricular activities that the school district offers is really quite secondary to that, and quite frankly suffers, correct?
Exactly. And, you know, when we see at the high school in particular, and probably at elementary and middle school, when we see a kid asleep in class and then get to talk to them, they will disclose that they don't have a good place to sleep. They're on the floor, or they're sharing whatever stuff. And then to reach out to the parents and honor their respect is of most importance. And people at any school district, working in a school district, will do that with grace. And that's what we try to do.
Katrina, before we turn to Shirley and Bernadette to talk about how the program operates, one of the things that Heidi was mentioning was how gracious and how helpful it was that the perspective of SAD 70 coming into this conversation with ACAP is that we feel that we can do this for more than just our school district specifically. Why was that so important to you, and why do you think that makes for a better program?
I just think it's important not only to serve just our community. I think it's important to serve all of the communities in Aroostook County, just because all children, not just our children in our district, all children face the same struggles. So if I can help all the children in Aroostook, then all the better. So every child that I can touch is great.
And that's awesome, Katrina and Heidi. As you well know, the Aroostook County Action Program serves all of Aroostook County, and even with some programs into Western Washington County and Northern Penobscot County. When Katrina came to you with this opportunity, and you knew that you could take it, to more school districts in Aroostook County and collaboratively work with SAD 70 and other school districts, that obviously is something that you just took off with, correct?
Yeah, I think in order for us to have a fight kind of in the race, we needed to be able to show a certain number of individuals at risk or experiencing homelessness. And so to go into such a competitive environment with grant funding with just one specific school district, we were limiting our chances. And again, only serving a reduced number where we had such a stronger opportunity and a stronger application to say, with all of our numbers in our school districts combined, we had over 100 kids that were in that position. And so we knew that we would have more of an effect and more of a fighting chance in the competition of being able to be a recipient of the funding, or SAD 70, the recipient of the funding to be able to do this work. And I think the important part is school is so critical, and teachers and counselors and all of these pieces have enough to worry about than rather to diving in the complex issue of homelessness. And so to be able to rely on, in this sense, partner with a community action agency who has a surplus of programs and can tap into the existing programs we have or outside communities, kind of alleviating the education committee or group of people to focus on what they're truly there to do, is only speaking to our strengths. And I think the more that we collaborate with opportunities like that, I think it's just going to be a success for the community overall.
Speaking of working to our strengths, surely, Karen, before we get into the specific, how you connect with this program and what it offers, this really was a natural extension of a great body of work that you've done for our agency. You've been working not only for our agency, but for others in the past around homelessness prevention, homelessness mitigation, and really for across the lifespan for youth all the way up to seniors. Talk about, that work and why this was a natural extension of efforts that you've led for ACAP for a number of years now.
Yeah, so I have been working, like you said, in this field for several years. It just felt right. It just seemed right just to move into this because I am familiar. Excuse me. I have developed, I don't know, partnerships with several agencies and folks around the county that goes along with housing, the managements, landlords. I've known them and spoken with them for years. So it just went well, and it just pieced well together to step into this position.
So let's take it from the perspective, Bernadette, that you become aware or you have a household or a student that presents to you at either in being in risk of being homeless or actually in that particular state. What do you do now as a result of this pilot program to be able to support that student maybe further than you used to be in the past, just under McKinney-Vento, as a result of this pilot program? Sort of walk us through what happens when you become aware of a student or a family in this situation.
Oh my, it's a big difference, and it's a big gift to everybody. But I reach right out to ACAP and give them the parameters of what I have discovered or found. And they really take it from there. And then they reach back if they need more information, if I can get more information, if I can speak to the parents and they can't because they're not answering the phone, all of that kind of stuff. Working as a team, which I think has been mentioned before, is so much more effective than working by yourself. And it can reach one, you can reach 100, and the track of being able to reach them is set through this program. And it is a gift. And I want to thank Katrina for taking on this thing.
Katrina, we certainly appreciate you doing that as well. And the partnership and your vision for this is very commendable. Shirley, Bernadette spoke about how youth and families get connected to the program. I'm going to share a flyer that we've developed in partnership with SAD 70 and with other community schools, and talk about specifically, once you get a recommendation from Bernadette, how we are able to help, and then also what the program requirements are around that. And I'll share this flyer as you narrate that.
Sure. So typically I will receive a phone call from one of the liaisons or a social worker from the school, speaking about a child that they have that is either experiencing homelessness or intimate homelessness, or there may be a disconnect notice for electric or water. Those are some big ones that we're having right now. So I work with either the social worker, if the parents are kind of not wanting to, come in front forward with it. I'll work with the social worker, get all of the paperwork that I need, the disconnect notices, do the funding paperwork and send it through to my supervisor. So the requirements are they need to be at imminent risk of becoming homeless. They need to be school age. And so they can be at risk of eviction. They could be currently homeless. They could be doubled up, which is sharing housing with family or friends. They could be abandoned at a hospital, living in substandard housing. Unaccompanied youth, not in the custody of a parent or guardian, they're eligible. So yeah, there's some requirements, but they're not like very hard. Right.
And Bernadette, that must be of relief to you that the family, it's about risk as well. So if you can prevent the episode of homelessness from happening in the first place, it's in the best interest of the entire family and certainly the youth in school, correct?
That is a huge difference that makes it's amazing. It's hard to even understand if you've not been in the situation before, but it is the way that people work together, and this is what happens.
And Heidi Ratcliffe, you've been with ACAP for 15 years. You're a social worker through your degree. That's the foundation by which you bring the perspective to your work. And I know that in your time here at ACAP, you've always looked to form partnerships like this and to make life better, which is really our vision here at the agency. When you hear about these connections happening and the work that's happening with Bernadette and the fact that we're using the opportunity to partner with public schools like this and make a difference and try to be preventative about it, what are your thoughts as again, a social worker, as a leader in community action in this county?
I think that the partnerships and the excitement of looking at the whole picture is truly where we need to be as a community. I think if we want effective and long-term change, we need to look and do things different than we ever have. And so being able to have these partnerships not only is critical for us, but we're able to be more effective because of the work. And again, it's that partnership that is allowing us to touch the lives of family that can truly implement and make a difference, because it might not just be that one financial assistance that you get for that rent, but what the other side of the community doesn't always see is that that's a relationship that started with the agency that's going to screen them for all 40 other programs. And so if there's a family that's affected because they can't pay rent, we're looking at the root cause. We're looking at implementing long-term change. And that's the benefit that comes with it. The initial funding is great, and that's a caveat that can save that family in the moment, but it's the long-term effects that we're able to get because of that relationship and because of that funding that can truly make the difference in the lives of the community. And that's what changes generational poverty. That's what changes poverty in general, is when you can make implements and changes that wasn't even the original intention of the program, but that was the end result.
And Katrina, when you hear that and you hear how Bernadette, feels like this program is enhancing, putting more tools in her tool belt to do this very important work, does that all come full circle for you in terms of why you applied for this opportunity and reached out in the first place and what you hope to accomplish?
100%. And this is why I do it. I want my educators to be able to do their job. I want my students to be able to not worry about their families, to not worry about, are they going to have a place to stay next month, or are their lights going to be on, or is it going to be warm? And that's why I do what I do. And every time I cut a check for rent or fuel or lights, I know that I've done something for somebody, and there is a positive change because I know that they're now in ACAP's hands, and there's training set up, and they're going to be in the system to continue that kind of thing. So it's been a huge motivation for me to continue this.
And before we do one last round and get any last thoughts and anything that we might have not talked about that folks want to make sure community members out there know about, let me look to Heidi and Shirley and to talk about, we've been specifically speaking with SAD 70, but talk about how the communications are with other schools and how they're connecting into this program, because we air this on community access cable channels up in Fort Kent and Madawaska, and so this is going to land on social media and the like. And so people, how do folks connect in other school districts? It seems very well defined and well known in SAD 70. Is that the case elsewhere?
Yeah, so I have reached out to the 5 schools that had partnered and have spoken to social workers, just a lot of people, and word of mouth is pretty powerful in the community. So if if we're working with one family and they're speaking with another, word travels fast. So yeah, I've actually worked probably with families from Fort Kent clear to Holton so far.
Great. That's wonderful. That's what I think we all hoped. So let's just do one last sort of tour around the Zoom room here, and get any last thoughts or anything that we haven't talked about that you wanted to make sure people knew about. Katrina, let me start with you, at the top of the screen up here with me to share with me any thoughts that you might have, anything that we haven't talked about, or any final thoughts you have on this important pilot program that we're partnering on.
I'm just really excited for it. I'm really proud of everything that the team has done. It's been amazing working with ACAP. They're a really great team, and I'm excited and hopeful that this would be available for next year, and I would be the first person in line to sign up again.
Awesome. Thank you for saying that. Bernadette, how about from your perspective as someone who's working directly with the students and seeing the difference that's being made as a result of the hard work of folks like Katrina, Heidi, and Shirley to make it happen?
Well, I want to thank the educators and the assistant educators and all of the people who work in the district, because they are the ones that get the word back. They're the ones who know what I might know, just a word, and then we can go forward with that. So it's important to talk, to dialogue. It's important to keep the channels open.
Thank you so much for that. Shirley?
I'd like to thank you, Katrina, for bringing this to the county. It was very much needed. And for just having the conversations with the families on the phone that know that their lights aren't going to be turned off or they're not going to have to face eviction, and just the pure delight in their voice at the end of the conversation definitely makes it all worthwhile. So thank you very much.
And Heidi Ratcliffe, your last thoughts or anything that we've not talked about that you wanted to make sure people knew about?
Yeah, not that we haven't talked about it, but again, just extending our appreciation to SAD 70 for the partnership and really allowing Aroostook County to be served. I will say that we have been spreading the information far. If you know of anybody at risk, please send them, not even in with this category, just a need in general. We have over 40 plus programs. There's always a program for somebody in this agency. Pride or not, we're here. We serve 1 in 5 people in Aroostook County, which I think speaks a huge number and how much people actually need that hand up once in a while. I would just say we are active on the McKinney-Vento liaison. So Shirley attended. All the liaisons in the county are aware of this contract, and so just looking forward to continuing to serve families to the best of our ability.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much, Katrina Kemp, Bernadette Willett, Shirley Karen, and Heidi Ratcliffe for joining us on this edition of ACAP Today to talk about a very important subject. Certainly, as the son of a 40-year kindergarten teacher, and that was his profession through, I watched him many evenings, just concerned about the safety, welfare, and well-being, whether they were fed, whether they were housed, of the children in his classroom, and to be able to have this kind of a program. I suspect Bernadette brings great relief to educators across your school district and the county. So thank you very much for the foresight and the additional work that went into making sure that this opportunity came to Aroostook County. Before we leave you and before we leave all of you watching, we always bring you our highlight snapshot for the last month here from the Aroostook County Action Program. And we share with you this month as our highlight snapshot, this picture of members of our team. This is not all of our team. We actually had to separate into 2 pictures to get this. This was held at the University of Maine at Presque Isle. It was our agency, a launch of our new core values, and a team building day around those core values. Those core values are innovative, collaborative, and accountable, and they're the things by which we hold ourselves here at ACAP in all of the work that we do with each other as colleagues, with our community partners, like the community partners we've spoken with on this edition of ACAP Today, and certainly to our customers, the individuals and the families and the communities that we serve across Aroostook County, whether that's in Hodgson or up in Fort Kent or in Dyer Brook or Presque Isle or Caribou. We are holding ourselves, we do innovative work, we collaborate, and we are accountable, as I think this very initiative demonstrates. So that is our highlight snapshot for this month, and that is this edition of ACAP Today for the month of May. We'll be back in June with another edition on a very important topic of how our agency and partners like SAD 70 are serving people in Aroostook County that are in need. We'll see you then.